Hi everyone, this is Jeff from Corktown. We've been busy making Christmas cookies and you're watching The Lift.
Hey, welcome to The Lift. I'm your host, Bailey, and it is a great day to be here. Today's Lift is all about cookies, cookie decorating, cookie baking, cookie buying, even what to drink with your cookies. I'm so excited about this. And we might be going a little bit backward here, but we are starting with the decorating. Jessica, the owner and baker at Frosted Sweets by Jessica, is here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. I can actually smell the cookies and the frosting.
It's like the best part, right?
It's so good. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for this cookie show. Tell me how you got into the baking business.
I really just wanted to start it as a little bit of a side business,
Yeah.
and then it got big enough. I was able to start staying home with my 3 kids.
Wow.
And now I just love doing all the custom orders, all the cookie classes. This time of year is Cookie Class Central. So all of them that I can do.
Totally. And they're just impeccable. You're decorating.
Thank
How did
you.
you learn how to do this?
Honestly, just watching videos
Yeah.
and learning from what people's mistakes were and just practice. And I've slowly gotten better. So
Trial and error.
Yes.
This is so fun. So we're actually going to do a little demo here with these adorable snowmen cookies. So these are, what, 4 pieces?
Yep, 4 different cookies
different
that all just
cookies.
kind of fit together, and then you can share it amongst some people.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see how I do with the decorating because I'm not the best. I warned you. But you
okay, though.
You say that I can do
It's just the
this.
details, though.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You did the canvas here for
Yes.
us. So, okay, so where would you start with putting the finishing touches on these?
Okay, so first you can grab your like maroon, red
Okay.
color. We'll add a few little berries on the hat.
Okay.
So you really just need to squeeze until
Okay.
you're happy with the size of the berry and then let go.
Okay.
And then you can do three different ones.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, this
So
isn't too
you'll-
bad.
Yep,
We're making this happen.
yep. It's gonna work.
And you make your own icing and everything.
Yep,
You said.
everything is just all made at my house.
I
So
love
then
it.
you're gonna use this bag here,
Okay.
this green.
Okay.
So there's a little seam right here. You want that up and in the middle.
Okay.
So you're gonna, watch this, you're gonna squeeze and pull back, and it's gonna kind of make that leaf look.
Oh.
You can do that a few times to give the
Okay.
leaves to the holly berries.
Okay.
So squeeze hard,
Squeeze hard, let go.
and then pull back. Yep, squeeze hard. Give
Hey.
it some strength. You got this. Look at that. It makes it look good, right?
I mean, you are the professional, but I'm actually quite pleased with how
Yeah.
that looks.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, you have holly berries. That's perfect.
Someone would look at that and think that's a berry.
Right,
So that's
exactly.
success.
Okay, so you can grab your black. We'll make some little eyes.
Okay.
And again, you're just holding it still until you like the size of the eye. Making that second one.
See, that does make it easier because I would say my drawing abilities are poor.
Yeah, but when you're just like squeezing it, it's doable.
Mine.
So you can grab
close
your
together.
edible marker.
Ooh, fun.
You can give it little eyebrows.
This is when the drawing part happens.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Eyes, you can give it a big smile, however
do
you want
you-
it to look.
Do you have to wait for, like, how long does it take for the frosting to dry?
So you need, like, these have been drying for overnight
Yeah.
before am able to draw on them, because otherwise they
Okay.
would be too soft. to-
Okay, gotcha. Sorry,
try-
I'm a slow poke here.
You're
There we
okay.
go. Now it's working.
Okay.
Okay, and you mentioned classes. So you're doing this with folks out and about.
Yep, so my class sizes are usually around 20 people or so. They all
Yep.
come to whatever venue. I have like Island Lake, Due North Pizza,
Okay.
Wild State, all different areas.
Cool.
They come to me and I just walk them through the entire process. You don't need to come with any skills. You don't need to come with anything with you. You have a
Wow.
box to bring it home.
Yeah.
I set you all up for success. so.
Amazing. And then,
Yeah.
you go home with cookies.
Right,
too.
exactly.
Bonus.
Impress everybody
Okay.
that you're with. Okay, so we're gonna do a little nose.
Yep. A little carrot nose. And this one you are kind of drawing a triangle.
Yep, draw
Okay.
a triangle and kind of fill it in.
Okay. These are so cute.
And you grab your blue and start doing a few buttons on the snowman. However many you want, wherever.
These are so colorful. You gotta love it.
This part is The flooding is fine. The flooding is like relaxing, but this part is probably a little bit more fun because you really see the cookies start to come together.
Yes, come to life.
Yes.
Totally. So do you have any classes upcoming here?
Oh, yes.
A bunch?
Yes. Thursday, Sunday. Unfortunately, they are all like fully booked, but I do one every single month of the year.
Okay.
So
there's opportunities.
Yes, always. So
to get in on it.
Yep, you can grab pink. We can add cheeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have people already asking about January and Valentine's classes. So those are already in the work. I'm always try to be a couple months ahead.
That's the time we need some activities.
It
too,
is,
is
yes.
come January and February. And
exactly.
Why not have something sweet to go with
You can grab
it?
your other green. Yeah.
Okay.
You can add a few lines onto your.
A couple stripes on here.
Yeah. Add some details to the scarf.
Adorable. Well, thank you so much for coming to do this with us.
Thanks for decorating with me.
Yeah, anytime. I haven't decorated any holiday cookies yet, so this was an awful lot of fun.
Right.
We'll make sure to link to where you can find your future classes for
Thank
folks
you so
online.
much.
And still ahead, a whole book of cookie recipes submitted by Minnesota bakers and approved by the Star Tribune. So if you are looking for tried and true cookie recipes with Midwestern flair, the Star Tribune has been collecting them and testing them for decades, and they're all compiled in this gorgeous cookbook. Well, Rick and Lee, congratulations on publishing the Minnesota Cookie Book. It is a beautiful cookbook.
We owe that all to our colleague and friend Tom Wallace for his beautiful photography.
It is fantastic in there. Lee, will you tell me a little bit about how this project got started?
We had run the Star Tribune cookie contest for 20 years. We'd heard from readers that they really wanted to have all the recipes in, especially the people who've won. And so we really wanted to wrap up those 2 decades with a new edition that has a lot of extra recipes, photographs, and also a section of personal essays and recipes from us as individuals, as authors.
Very fun. So, Rick, most of these came from submissions from readers and folks around Minnesota?
Yeah, we have 100 recipes from readers all over Minnesota, not just the Twin Cities, but some from Duluth even, and from the Iron Range, and from the northern Minnesota. To me, that really speaks to the interest of baking across the state, that so many people from all over Minnesota are really into baking, and it's reflected in these recipes.
It seems like there's lots of cultural, family traditions encompassed in some of these recipes. Have you found that? Yeah,
early on, we really discovered that baking is a very nostalgic act, particularly on the holidays, and it's usually it's an intergenerational thing, that grandparents teach parents, teach children, and that, all these people are gathering in the kitchen to bake cookies at the holidays, and that's really reflected in so many of the stories of the recipes that are in our contest.
So, Lee, is it safe to say that these are all tried and true cookie recipes?
Oh, absolutely. Tried many, many times, let me tell you.
And we did a lot of baking every year because we're journalists, and we wanted to make sure, number one, that these recipes worked, because we knew that thousands and thousands of people were going to be baking them. So Lee and I would bake them a number of times before they got into the newspaper, just to make sure that everything worked, and we're really proud of that.
What are some of the more unique recipes that stand out to you?
Some of the ones that really stand out for me are the ones that people, they would see something in their world and they would think that would make a really good cookie. Like, for example, our winner in 2020 by a woman here in the Twin Cities, Joanne Holtmeyer, she was obsessed with a particular flavor of ice cream at a Minneapolis ice cream shop called Sebastian Joe's. And she finally kind of asked the person behind the counter, so what exactly is in this thing? And they told her the ingredients, and she immediately thought that would be a really good cookie. And she created something for our contest called Spumoni bars, and it won the contest.
It was interesting because people also picked up on Minnesota things that were reflective of that. So we have a cookie, a thumbprint cookie that is sort of replicates the Nut Goodie that puts out by Pearson's Candy Company here in St. Paul. So we have a cookie that is based on something from the New Scenic Cafe up near you, for example.
So you don't have to be a professional baker to really make the most of this cookbook, I imagine.
that was really one of our goals, is that because this was part of a newspaper contest that we had, and general interest newspaper. So we've got people who have maybe never baked before at all, as well as people who are really skilled. So we wanted to make sure that cookies were always accessible to our readers, and also that they made use of ingredients that were widely available all over the state. Baking cookies is really this sort of gateway into being in the kitchen. It just encourages people to learn their way around the kitchen, and cookies are pretty sturdy for whatever skills you have. So we highly recommend it as a starting point.
Indeed. We know Santa likes milk with his cookies, but why not wash them down with some wine? Next, we'll run through the best vino to pair with common holiday dishes, and yes, cookies are one of them. So maybe your cookie baking or your cookie eating involves a little wine. Our friend Madison is always looking for the perfect pairing. Today you brought us 4 great holiday options.
Yes, something to please a bunch of different people.
Yeah, and to pair with different things that you might find on your table for parties. So let's start with the bubbles, shall we?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think bubbles are definitely something that you have to have around this time of year.
Festive.
Yes, and why not pick something that's also pink? Even more festive.
Why not?
So I think I picked the Lubanzi Sparkling Rosé from South Africa.
Ooh.
This wine honestly will go with anything from brunch to charcuterie.
Okay.
Pop it for a celebration. I think the
Yeah.
label's really beautiful.
Absolutely. So New Year's Eve, if you don't want to do champagne, why not? Do some rosé instead.
Yeah, do some
Mix
rosé.
it up.
Yeah, mix it up, do something fun. And I think the idea behind a lot of these wines today was something that would be kind of crowd pleasing, because you have diverse palates that are going to spend time with you around the holidays.
Definitely.
So all of these wines are supposed to kind of please a lot of different types of people.
Okay, very cool. So how about for the appetizer portion of a party? For some of those cheeses and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say I would go with a dry Riesling.
Okay.
And I'll pour you a little bit of it so
Yeah.
you can see what I mean.
Yeah.
But I really like a dry Riesling because I think Riesling tends to have a lot of fruitiness to it. And I think, some people are looking for a dry wine.
Sure.
So you're getting the dryness, the acidity, but also for people who are looking for something maybe a little sweet. There's so much fruitiness going on here that it'll taste sweeter than it really is.
Oh yeah. It does have a little sweetness.
Yeah.
But it's not super sweet.
No.
Some Rieslings it's like, oh, this is juice.
Right.
It still tastes like wine.
Yes, and it would really, anything from soft cheeses, hard cheeses, pigs in a blanket.
We don't have to be fancy
Yeah,
about
we don't have
this.
to be fancy about it.
Yes.
Honestly, any finger food that you would have at a holiday party would go well with dry Riesling.
Okay.
And I personally love this one from Austria, so.
Very cool. This red that you brought sounds very versatile.
Yes, I would say this one is from a little area in the Loire Valley called Valençay. And this is brought into the United States by Mary Taylor. And it's a blend of Pinot Noir, Gamay, and Malbec.
Oh,
So
okay.
lots of different grapes.
Yeah.
And it honestly would go well with anything from like roast beef to roast chicken to barbecue.
Pretty much anything you're serving. Pretty much any
anything.
protein at least.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of like what it wouldn't go with, and like
Yeah.
those things are like few and far between.
Well, very good.
So-
That makes it easy then.
Yes,
to find.
I have yet to meet someone who hasn't liked that wine.
Wow. All
So-
right. That's high praise.
Yeah.
High praise. So we are talking all about cookies on today's show. What might you pair with a good sugar cookie like the ones we just frosted with Jessica?
I know. I was thinking about it while you guys were frosting them. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, I wish I could crack this open right now and try it with the cookies.
And just photobomb
Yes,
and
yeah.
bring
Does
some wine in. Yeah.
So this is a Sauterne.
Okay, I was wondering how you say it.
Yeah.
Sauterne.
Sauterne. From southwestern France.
Ooh.
And it's actually a wine that's made by like fungus. there's certain like
Sounds delicious.
I know I'm really selling it, but basically there's like this fungus called botrytis that thrives in the climatic conditions of the Sauternes region, and it basically helps the grape like dehydrate itself and concentrate the sugar.
Okay.
So there's like a lot of sugar then that can be fermented, but it's not completely fermented and it's left sweet. So it's kind of got this honeyed almond flavor profile that would be really delicious with sugar cookies, pumpkin pie, apple pie, pecan pie, vanilla ice cream. Some people even pour it over ice cream. Like,
there you go.
there's a lot.
Kind of a Sauternes float.
Yeah, yeah, Sauternes float. Why not?
Oh my God.
Go wild.
It's like a science lesson today
Yeah.
that you brought us to.
You never know what to expect.
Well, this was fun. Thank you, Madison. Cheers
Thanks,
to you.
Bailey.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Cheers.
And coming up, see how Corktown becomes Cookie Town for the holidays and whether I have the piping chops to join the kitchen crew. Homemade cookies are delicious, but let's face it, not all of us have the baking bug. So if you'd rather just buy them, the Corktown crew invited me into the kitchen to help them bake in bulk. All right, Tom, when I think of Corktown, I think of sandwiches and bowls, and I don't necessarily think of cookies. But that is why we're at Corktown today, is to bake cookies.
Well, think of Cookie Town.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
you know, during the holidays, it's just something that we have done for years and years within our company. The other night, like, these young guys were playing Christmas music as we're piping cookies. And I mean,
love it.
it's honestly kind of something that we need as humans, you know, as part of our tradition and society. So,
A little bit of team building.
but we're going to show you
Yeah.
how to pipe some cookies.
Okay,
And
sounds good.
The other night, I did 1,200. And then my wife was leaning on my arm and it hurt so bad, I was like, "Ow, get back."
So you're putting me to work.
So, yeah.
Free labor here.
We have this great batter that looks like peppermint ice cream. This
it
is an
does.
almond cookie. We got our cannon.
Yep.
We got our little trigger down here.
Okay.
And most of the piping, it's a tight little circle and a twist.
Okay, I'm gonna give
A
this
little
a
trial
try.
run.
Okay, well, we could have had a better,
That's good.
first
And then
run.
what we do with those is we throw them right back in, and we try it again.
And we try again.
And when a
See, this is why I was
You don't
a
really-
front of house person.
don't turn a circle, just turn your wrist. It's a really, your hand is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, wow, that kind of is a workout.
Look at, they're getting great.
They're getting better. They're getting better.
A 10-minute training program, and you've got it.
Kind of like little reeds.
These are going to be little Christmas wreaths. You're going to get a B- with some improvement.
Some improvement. The student has
I love it.
made an effort.
I am so impressed.
Right. Oh yeah, I totally did this whole tray by myself.
What a transition. You have done the magic television cooking.
And
look what
voila.
you've done. It really is. There's something about it that is just kind of methodical, working with your hands. Kind of feeds the soul. I guess that's what the restaurant business is
Absolutely.
and what drives people to come here. So,
So now these are a whole other kind.
and this is a peppermint one.
Ooh.
So we just dip.
And, oh, look how pretty that looks.
So now we go from the piping to the baking to the plating, and then the cookies are gone in like 10 minutes. So it's, you know, it's an incredible process to do things from scratch, make homemade, and you know, it's just, you're gonna bring these to family, you're gonna bring them to your office, you're gonna bring them to a party.
Right.
We want them to be different. We want them to be like, who made this? Where is this from?
Yeah.
How did you get such a good cookie?
Well, thank you for teaching me today. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you for being here. It's special.
And these are just beautiful boxes.
Yeah, thank you. It's a lot of work, as you kind of saw. There's many steps into it, and but it's a lot of fun. The team really kind of rallies around this big, huge push that we do for cookie baking. We do 6 different kinds of cookies, so it makes those dozens work out nicely for us.
I gotta give these a try,
yeah, give them a try.
Since we just made them. And these are at all of the Duluth Grill Group restaurants,
We're working
yes?
to make sure we have enough to put into the other restaurants and retail spots as well.
I love that just kind of buttery, flaky cookie. Totally different than a sugar cookie, but you might make it home.
Yeah, and they're small enough so that you could eat like 1, 2, maybe 3, 4.
Yeah.
So,
We're not judging.
We've been doing cookies for probably about 20 years now, and so it's a tradition that we learned from an old-time baker named Dexter Larson, and we want to give him a lot of credit. It's an old recipe, and we've just found that it's delicious and want to keep it moving forward. So.
Absolutely. Well, I concur. It is delicious.
You have to try the Florentines. Those are my favorite. Can't stop eating those. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yep.
That caramelized.
It's like a candy bar.
It really is, man. Well, thank you so much. This is really, truly a treat. Well, we do hope all these cookies brought you a lift and sweetened your day. We'll have what you need to know coming up on The 5.